just moving into the next phase of the season, how do you put the regular season behind you, learn the lessons, keep them with you, but now transition to the playoffs?
Well, I think we just keep on focusing on our details of our game and trying to getting the guys ready to go. We have some time off here before we play, and so we're trying to do a good job of managing some rest as well as work. We gave them a couple of days off right at the end of the season, and then the next 2 days were hard work days, and today it's a skill day. We'll get back into some more system work tomorrow. So we're just trying to balance that out, and the regular season's gone. It's a totally new season. It's the best time of year. We did a pretty good job of jockeying in a spot where we get the first round bye, which we wanted, and we just want to keep this thing going.
First round playoff buys are kind of unique, though, in this league. But when you're avoiding that best of three, that's probably a good thing to have a buy, right?
Well, yeah, because in best of three, anything, best of five, things happen quick. Best of three, it's so much quicker. Where if you run into a hot goal, you can't recover. And we're seeing the first few games in the league. Whoever's playing, the games are really intense. And I think it's the biggest thing that I want to focus on with our team is that the intensity level is going to be raised to real high. And we got to make sure we stay disciplined in those situations, but also play very physical. It's going to be first round is always a tough round, but as you mentioned, getting a bye is definitely important for us.
Are we still feeling the impacts of not having playoffs for 2 seasons, players maybe being inexperienced at this level? The Bears obviously lost in the best of 3 last year. So do you find your roster maybe doesn't have the playoff experience that teams in years past have?
Well, that's something I talked about with Dylan McElrath today and Mike Vecchione. Said I just said that, uh, we have some players that haven't had a lot of experience in pro playoffs, and it's a whole different animal. And so I just told them, look, both of you guys have to help us out here. Obviously, I won a championship with Dylan in Grand Rapids, so he's been through it and he knows what it takes. And having our captain go through that's going to certainly help out us as a coaching staff. But that's something that we have to address as a team, and we will be, as we go on. But it's a very defining moment for hockey players. I was talking earlier about how some teams or some players, they have a great regular season and they fall off in the playoffs, or vice versa. They don't have a great regular season, all of a sudden they shine in the playoffs. And this is where players are going to be defined, and they have to understand that. Moving forward, if things go well here, which I hope they do, everybody does well with their career in the future because everybody wants a winner. I know that this city expects a winner here. I know that there's very high expectations with our franchise, and that's good. I don't use that as a pressure moving forward. This is where I want to be. This is we have a great opportunity here in front of us. We just have to get the job done.
With the uncertainty of not knowing who your first round game is going to be against.
Well, we haven't done a whole lot of pre-scouts yet. We're kind of seeing how the plays or the games go and play out. But we've seen all these teams. The teams that we could face, we've seen them all year and played them multiple times. So we have an idea of what we have to do against any particular team. But with that being said, once we find out a definite team that we're playing, we'll get out the microscope and start dissecting every part of their game. I don't like surprises. I want to make sure our team's ready to go, so we know exactly what we're facing. And also, with that being said, gives us time as a staff to maybe look at, well, first off, line combinations for our team, because we're healthy. I think this is the healthiest we've been all year. And we have so many good players, but I can only dress 20 players, right? So, we'll dissect things and get things ready, and we'll probably have more line matchups as the playoffs go on. But that's right now we're just trying to get our guys mentally and physically focused for the playoffs just through practice and rest.
Does home ice advantage matter at this time of year, being able to play more games at home than on the road?
I think it does. I think we have a great fan base here. The guys love playing here in Hershey. We're trying to fight for that top spot. So if we do advance past the first round, who knows? who we can play, but if we just got to get through the first round. The first round is always the toughest round because once you get through that first round, all of a sudden you get some momentum and you're moving forward and guys feel good about themselves. And it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war out there.
The Capitals not making the playoffs, how's that impacted your roster?
Well, it impacted where we had guys called up that, got sent back to us. I think it was on Friday night. We had a totally different lineup than we did Saturday. Saturday we inserted 5 new players. And so I've been in the American League quite a few years, and say if the Caps were in the playoffs, we probably wouldn't have some of those bodies here. So it does impact teams at the American League level. That's why it's so hard to win a championship in the American League, because your roster always seems to change if the parent club's in the playoffs, but the Caps unfortunately are not. But so we find the benefits from that.
He's been so consistent all season, so I don't want to say the emergence of Ethan Frank, but how much of a spark has he brought to this team? Obviously, AHL all-rookie team. I mean, what does that say about who he is and the season that he's put together? And maybe is he one of those players you're looking at saying, you've had a great regular season, but can you define yourself in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of players that fall into that category, but Ethan Frank, first off, he's a very good person. He fits right in with our group. We have a good group of players. But you saw the impact he made last game. He comes into our lineup off of injury. He's a great skater. He has a great shot. He scored a hat trick that night, and so he provides that extra offense that we need. Scores in the power play, and I expect big things from Frankie in the playoffs.